Thank you for staying with Daybreak. We're seeing a lot of your feedback. The hashtag you're using is Daybreak. You're talking about everything that we can get through to our female panelists, the honorable members who are with us today. We find out what their thoughts on several issues are. There's another one that has come up. So this is a rather sad story. Man kills, quote-unquote, Jezebel wife and then hangs himself. A 50-year-old man left residence of Kiamumbi Estate in Kiambu County in shock after he struck his wife dead, then committed suicide. So in a suicide note he left behind for his 4 children, he blamed his action on his troubled marriage. This is not anything new. We've seen this several times, and unfortunately it's on the rise.
So you may be asking, then why did they not do anything? Well, the letter says he thanked his pastor for trying to reconcile them. All right, so where do we begin? Honorable Lesuda, when you see these articles,
it's a very worrying trend, a very, very worrying trend. And in all ways, and as women legislatures in this country, we're very concerned about it. And it's something that we have to look at. Are our men, maybe it could be even societal, you know? Are they depressed? Is it that they can't talk? But you see, as you're saying, he was able to talk to his pastors. And so this is something that we really need to look at it in depth, and even on our children from when they're young, as we bring up our boys, and even the girls as well. This is something that we need to have a conversation about, and this is what we're doing as Embrace. It is something that we have picked up, and we'll be having a vigil on the same on Friday, and we'll discuss more about it. It will be on University of Nairobi grounds, because it's something that we cannot keep quiet about. We need to add our voice to it and look for measures on how to really discuss and tackle this issue.
What are the solutions you're bringing forth?
Personally for me now, it is something that we have to talk about at the family level. Everybody has to have this conversation, even at the family level, for all of us. And you know, as I said, it could just be, signs of depression, and we don't know what is really going on in our families, with our young people as well. It is something that we really need to take seriously. Also, the church has a role to play, and I'm not giving the work so much to the church. Everybody has a role, but even just on our values and what we stand for as a people and as a country, just so that it is easier for me to walk out of a marriage and not kill somebody and kill myself and leave children as orphans. So really it's a conversation and a role that we all have to play, so that also our churches look at it critically and sometimes leave the politics a little bit and shepherd us also in the right direction.
Okay. Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to convey my condolences to the family. Their children here who've lost both parents. The second thing I'd like to say is, I'm looking at that picture and they look like a very happy couple. This could have been a coerced suicide note. The investigations are still ongoing. There was a worker who went missing, so maybe the husband did not kill the wife. Maybe the police will find something else, so let's, the media sometimes rushes with a story, but I'd like to believe that when the investigations are done, families have problems, but this is a bit too drastic, and I feel that maybe there's something more to it than we're reading. But there is a heightened depression in the country. There is a lot of suicides. In Nairobi, we're going to try and see if we can try and offer counseling. And I think the government should offer counseling desks in every hospital, so that people can actually be able to talk about what is going on. We are having a vigil in Nairobi. It's going to be at the university grounds. It's going to be on Thursday. It was originally supposed to be on Friday, but we've moved it on Thursday. We ask all women to come, and men as well, because we need to end femicide. We need to stop killing our women, killing our men. It happens both sides, both our men and our women. Relationships can go bad. We're having men speaking to it right now and saying, if a relationship is not working, you can walk away. You don't have to kill your partner. So on Thursday, the University of Nairobi grounds will hold a vigil. We'll start with 4 o'clock. The program will be out on social media. Pay attention on social media. And we just hope that we can actually condone, with the families that have lost loved ones. I mean, here in Nairobi as well, we've lost quite a few. So we need to understand that our young women and children cannot be hacked or killed.
Right.
It's too much.
Honorable Rosa, even as you comment on this story, there's a bill in Parliament, a mental health bill. Will you as women support and push for this bill?
Yes, we will, because what we're doing is really not going to the core of the problem issue. And that bill will be seeking to find a more permanent, everlasting solution to the root causes of femicide and all these other killings. And like my two colleagues have said, there seems to be a trend that's coming. It's almost becoming fashionable, that if you were once in love and your love is going sour, kill. And then kill yourself, or just kill and be on the run. It's almost becoming so fashionable, because in the last 3 to 4 months, we've lost more than 20 to 30 lives just through femicide. And we will also be looking at, because like I said initially, there must be some deterrent measure. You know, it can't be that you can kill somebody. If you don't kill yourself, you're still living, and then it becomes so easy for you. You're taken in for 2 weeks, and then you're out on bail, and then. So it's becoming a trend, and people are not feeling like there's any punishment tied to it. So what we're doing, and you can see we're in white, what we're saying is, we are going to use Thursday to bring the country's focus to this femicide issue. Our guest of honor will be the Minister or the Cabinet Secretary of Interior Security. Is that what it's called? Interior Security, Dr. Matiang'i, because that's where it also is at, you know. The police, obviously, they're also killing themselves, but we also need to know that when such cases happen, it either dies or begins with investigation. If investigation is poor, then even the murderer will go scot-free. So we are laying it down so that we can work together as a society to actually see exactly what we can do to bring this down. So we are inviting everybody, even if you're not able to come to the university grounds on Thursday, whatever part of the country you are in, please just adorn yourself in white, whether it's a white scarf, whether it's a white tie, pink tie, anything white, so that we'll all stand in mourning with the people who've lost their lives, and stand in strength and determination that we are going to bring an end to femicide, because it is getting out of hand.
Honorable Lachi, very briefly, we're running out of time.
It is very unfortunate, and indeed, I just want to say that where we've reached with the country, I think there's a lot of depression in families. I look at this family and it questions me a lot, and I don't want to really imagine 50 years. So you can imagine 50 years. You are in the middle of your age. You have gone through a lot. Your children are now grown. It's not an age where now you decide to commit suicide and call your wife Jezebel.
I think
all we can say, as if indeed investigations are going on, we will look. I know there are nowadays technologies there. We will look at his handwriting and both handwritings to say whether indeed this is his note. But then I was reading here where an AP also just decides to kill himself at 7 a.m. but at 4 a.m. sends a message to a friend, and a friend decides to tell him, to ask, iko nini boss, ebu chukua leave kwanza uende home, kama iko dalili ya wewe kuuawa, potea, uhai ni ya muhimu. Now, we have to also ask ourselves, within the police we've had a lot of killings. And it can be depression in terms of work. Today you've just come out of the training and you're sent all the way to Lamu or somewhere. I think what I would plead with CS Matiang'i also is, let us have also classes of counseling within the whole institution, so that you find how are they doing, what are the challenges. Pick. There were days when Moi, when we were young, Moi would send and would sit down with each of these officers. Today, I don't know whether they have an opportunity as regular officers to just sit and air out their issues. Or
could I just say this? Today's International Menstrual Hygiene Day, and I'd just like to thank the government for having made it possible for every Standard 6 to Standard 8 and Form 1 to Form 4 girls in public schools to have had sanitary towels in the last quarter. But the promise was from the government that this was going to be done every quarter to ensure that we encourage girls to go and to attend classes very regularly, and therefore to bring them up at par with education with the boys. But I'd just like to say that there is a lull and the government needs to look into that, because that is a noble idea, and it encourages girls to keep on attending their classes. So for the girls, wherever they are, there is hope. And
right, we want to bring your attention to a picture we want to bring up right now and just get one line from each of you. This was at the launch of the Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Company, and these are the board members. I want to show you on your screen just coming up now. There you go.
they look funny, don't they?
One line from each of you.
That is the problem in Kenya, the lack of inclusion of women in decision making. And I think the sooner they get women on board, the sooner that this country will get its place in terms of achieving Agenda 4. So I hope the President's listening.
None of you ladies were approached
no,
to be
I mean, I'm never approached as a
I
woman rep.
think they're there because of the right, they are right because of the office that they hold. And that is still a problem, that in all those offices, there is no woman. And that is the voice that we are also lacking. That voice of a woman, you know, who says something different. You need to sample.
They just look funny, and they look uncomfortable, and they just look like...
At least all of them can afford a red tie. And
they look
for
stiff.
me, my only question is, all of them here are able to afford affordable, beyond affordable housing. Secondly, their children today are children who are somewhere working. So will they really remember a child who is living in a slum? Is my question. Do they understand even? Have they ever even stepped in Mathare or Kibera?
No, they
or
look
where?
stiff, like they don't know what goes in households. No, households are handled
they
by
are
women.
comfortable. In fact, for them, they are beyond to understand why they even need food today. They have wajukus. They are the only people who can now tell them we really need housing is their grandchildren.
They need to embrace women. They need to embrace women.
Right.
Embrace is saying we need peace, we need harmony, we need economic development, we need the country united. So they need to embrace women, because without women, who represent 50% of this population, right, they cannot go forward. And they were brought into this world by a woman. They are married to women. They have daughters. The 2/3 gender bill was was something they should have supported. And it's very obvious why we haven't achieved the 2/3 gender, because Kenya is just run by men.
Oh, God.
But I believe the president asked them that question.
Yes.
In my heart, I believe he asked.
All right.
Hamuna wa mama, that one he asked.
No, don't try
Right.
to make excuses. They just look funny and stiff.
Ladies, we have to live with that.
Well,
Thank you
it's
so
sad.
much for
It's very
coming in
sad.
So this is the board for housing.
Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Company.
Yeah, mortgage.
Yes.
Where women are the ones, 80% paying mortgage today for housing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we need to have two boards and see how the women one will work.
Those men look funny. I'm not going there.
Ladies, thank you so much for coming.
About bonding.
Honorable Rosa Bui, Women Rep Kisumu, Honorable
it's
Esther
not bonding
Passaris,
at the
Women
house.
Rep Nairobi, and Honorable Beatrice Elachi, Nairobi County Speaker, and Honorable Naisola Lesuda Samburu West, Member of Parliament. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. All right. Elachi is calling it the worst sport of the day. We have to take a quick break here. When we come back, Daybreak still continues. Plus, we'll take you through the news making headlines as well.